Perfect Fit, presented by PGA Tour Superstore.
All right, Robbie, I'm looking for a perfect fit here at the PGA Tour Superstore Studio. We got drivers up now, and I'm very, very excited because this year's offerings, I am excited about.
First and foremost, your current driver, right, that you're coming in with. That's a big thing. You know, you got a bunch of movable weights, right, and these new heads, especially with what you're playing. I took a look before. Moving center of gravity. We can move loft, right, up and down. Center of gravity is a big one, though, right? So a lot of these heads, the focus this year is MOI. We've talked about that. You know, moment of inertia, the forgiveness. That's a big thing with especially, those new heads. Now, let's really see how your driver fares, and we'll go from there and get you dialed in.
Perfect. Let's do it.
We got a TaylorMade Stealth 2 weight in the middle of that. So neutral position.
It's a cheating to the fade side.
Okay.
I like to see the ball move a little left or right with the driver. So
all right.
Everything about this driver was intended to be a fade bias club.
Now, anything specifically going on with this one that you're looking to improve upon, misses-wise, I should say?
Honestly, I've been having trouble with the spin. I feel like I hit these divers. The ball just kind of starts out and just falls out of the sky. And I've seen some numbers on it, and it's hard to believe that the ball's spinning at what it does, but I'm just a low spin guy all the way. So I'm weird compared to like the general golf public because most people, they have too much spin, we got to take it off. Well, I need more spin.
Okay.
So that's one of my quirks, if you will.
All right, and shaft-wise, Ventus Black 6 TX?
Yeah, Ventus Black 6 TX, tipped a ½ inch.
Let's have you hit a few, take a look at some numbers, see what we got.
Little toe ball there, that's a little left. I'll take
Not,
that little toe ball.
Not a bad one to start with, but there's that spin rate that you were talking about before.
I feel like it's a great driver. I had a great shaft in it, and I broke that shaft.
Got it.
And I had an older model, and I just plug and played, which might not have been the smartest thing to do.
Yep.
But that's something that we deal with.
Yeah, 100%.
If you break a shaft and you have an older model,
just to get a quick fix,
exactly.
Throw that in there.
So I like the way the shaft feels, but it's just taking so much spin off of this thing, it's hard to move. And then when I do get one moving,
yep, out to the right. At a 22, 88 spin rate, you kind of want to live between that 2,000 and 25, 2,600.
Yeah.
That one you hit previously at 15, I mean, if that's golf course shot and that ball's going left, I mean, that thing is just a knuckleball.
And there's no stopping power. So if it's on a dog leg, I'm hitting it
it's
through.
Gone. Yeah,
exactly.
It's gone.
So, and then like with me, I build my drivers to go right. If I want to draw one or turn one over right to left, I'll hit 3-wood.
Yeah.
So that's how I kind of set up the top of the bag.
Yep.
So
because that right to left ball with that is just probably a straight.
Well, it doesn't spin.
Yeah, exactly.
So I can't even curve it. There we go. That's more like what I want to see.
Yeah, definitely better. But the one thing that I'm really noticing here is key factor for driver smash factor, right?
Yeah.
So ball speed divided by club speed. At a 1.43, you're missing a lot of efficiency. At a 306 carry, only at 173 ball speed, you got a room for some more distance in there if we can get that smash factor up closer to 1.5.
Okay.
Right, so that tells me whether, head or shaft combination, we're lacking somewhere in that driver.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but I'm glad to be here and get my perfect fit because this is my weapon. The more you play from the fairway and the further you hit it down, it makes golf a heck of a lot easier.
Definitely. So let's have you hit one more. Good one there.
There we go.
Smash factor comes up a little bit.
Yeah.
Definitely some things we want to, really improve upon. And number one, smash factor, just really getting more efficient with the driver and more consistent spin rate.
Yeah.
Right? Whether it's, I don't want to be jumping around from 1,500 to 2,200 to 26, back to 19. Want to really try to dial that in and get it more consistent. First combination here I got for you, TaylorMade QI10. Big on the MOI of their new line of products. And first things first, we got the movable weight. With this weight, moving it to fade, which is the ball flight you prefer, now the real goal is with this, right, the shaft.
Yeah, the shaft.
Torrey D VF 6 TX. It's definitely going to be a lower launch, lower spin shaft, but it's going to have way more feel than the Ventus.
Let's try it.
And let's see what the numbers jump to here.
Hold on, isn't this Tiger setup?
It is. It is.
Yeah, got me out here feeling like Tiger Woods. You see that? Got my Tiger Woods on. All right, let's hit it like Tiger. That's the straightest ball I've hit in 20 years. Hey, the spin's up. That's interesting.
Yep, spin came up a little bit. How's the club head feel?
Softer.
Okay.
As weird as that sounds, than the previous one. That was hammered. I don't know where it's going.
Okay.
See that? Surprising. Didn't feel like that.
See, but now
it's the shape that I like.
I'm glad that's happening because again, that weight being all the way in the toe, right? You're moving that center of gravity in the head. Now what I'm going to do is just kind of dial that back a little bit.
Okay.
And drop it more neutral, I should say.
That's a low heel, so I'm interested to see how this moves.
I mean, for that ball moving right to left, that had a pretty good amount of spin on it to at least hold, some of its line.
That was a good golf swing. I feel like I'm starting to feel what this shaft does. Smash went up, ball speed, huge ball speed jump.
Yep. Big time.
And it's still high, like I like it.
And look at your spin rate.
Spin rate's money.
Yeah, more consistent spin rate wise.
Yeah, I mean, that's
really
intriguing.
happy about.
That's very intriguing.
Now, we got an interesting one here, Cobra.
Ooh, what is this?
So this is the Dark Speed LS. All right, so on that same kind of fade bias, lower spin model without obviously being too low spin, which we're trying to give you some of that spin back.
Yeah.
3 different weight positions. We're moving the weight for you towards the toe.
Okay,
right?
yeah.
So you got 2 3-gram weights and a 12-gram weight.
Okay.
Moving that heavy weight towards the toe.
Keep it a little
Keep
open.
it a little bit, more stable through impact. Kind of keep the toe open a little longer, trying to eliminate that left and get more of that fade bias in there.
Tell you, the first thing you really notice looking down is the shape. It looks faster. Like
Aerodynamic.
There we go, that's a better word.
Yeah.
It looks very quick.
Shaft-wise, little change. Ventus TR red.
Okay.
All right, 6X, so not TX, dropping you down to X. Nice thing about this shaft, which I think might help your, the load of the shaft for you, is a little bit more stiffness in the handle.
Okay.
All right.
All right, let's check it out. A little heely.
That's a good spin rate for that ball flight.
Yeah, it's a miss left like that, absolutely. But it's kind of interesting, the shaft, I don't know, there's something about this shaft that doesn't feel like it times. But see, this is what I feel. I feel that the shaft is
Really getting under.
it's kind of bouncing in the bottom third.
Okay. Yep, and just
Giving
kind
me a
of,
little extra loft. I can feel that in my hands.
okay, so good. Let me see that. Let's make a little adjustment here.
It's far.
It is.
I mean, that's right on par. And that's what we're looking at, right? The efficiency score is juice per the squeeze, right? How much what are you getting out of what you're putting in?
Correct.
I don't know if I'm in love with that launch angle there.
Launch angle, kind of want to keep between like 10 and 14, so bring it down a touch, especially that height, peaking at 151.
That's high.
That's high.
That's
high.
That is a little too high. That's up in the stratosphere.
So one thing, Doug, about the VF Torrey D compared to the Ventus Red is feel.
Yeah.
Right? So big thing on feel for driver shafts and just feel in general when you're hitting driver, right, is, different preferences that you might have. And a lot of it is your feel and your feedback, where we can kind of take a look at those numbers and kind of move off that right away based on your feel and the numbers and feel preference. What do you kind of prefer out of a driver shaft?
Yeah, I like it to be a little tip stiffer.
Okay.
To hold the face off.
Yep.
Personally.
Yep.
I like it also to be a little handle stiffer. I do like a softer midsection, personally.
Got it.
I like the club to feel like it moves, but then it doesn't go.
Yeah. Not a kick as much as that
Yeah,
TR
I like it to
Red
kick.
where
I do like the kick. I just
Okay.
don't like it to. I don't like to feel as though when it kicks, I'm adding loft
Got
to
it.
the face.
Which, you see that number bottom right,
Yeah.
dynamic loft, right? That's one thing I really like to focus on with driver because that affects the shaft and affects the ball flight. With the TaylorMade, you were anywhere between like 13, 14.
A lot of folks might look at that as a head issue. I think, and you
It's
correct
more
me
of
if
a
I'm
shaft
wrong.
issue.
Exactly. And that's not saying that the shaft is bad. It's bad for my feel and
Correct.
what I like. And
Correct.
I think that's one thing where a lot of consumers, they kind of misinterpret, right? It's like, oh, this shaft is great. Well, it might not be great for you and how you apply force in your golf swing.
Correct.
Yeah.
And where you deliver the club, more importantly.
So some people are long with a big kind of handle, and some people are very kind of smooth the transition where they may not need as much a shaft to kick or bounce as much as, I like.
I agree. So now we're back to that VF. in the Cobra head. Spin rate definitely on the lower side. And look at that height, obviously came down a lot.
Yeah, height's
Right,
down.
so we're definitely working towards a better shaft. Great spin rate, 2441.
Still not attacking smash.
Still staying exactly where it was.
Exactly.
All right, so let's move on to a different club head. I do like the shaft a lot better.
Okay.
Feel-wise, feel better than the Ventus?
Yeah, I don't hate that.
Okay. Callaway AI Smoke. All right, triple diamond, right? So more of that fade bias head. You know, you got 3 different models in their line. This is going to be the most fade bias and low spin.
So this is counterbalance shaft. Tell me a little bit about what that even means.
So you kind of take weight out of the club head and you move it towards the handle.
Now, does that mess with swing weight?
It does a little bit. It drops the swing weight, but when you have a club head that is more fade bias and is a little bit heavier, especially with 16 grams of extra weight, that we can move around, you're kind of going to still be in that D2, D3 swing weight area. Do you feel more weight in that handle?
In the waggle, it feels stiffer, which would imply that there's more weight. Wow.
Smash factor goes up. Spin 1844. Really, really, really like that. Love the launch angle. Again, living between that like 10 to 14.
Now let's just do it again.
That's it right there.
If that goes left, I was about to say, that's way more like I like. Yes, it's high, but we can still tune some stuff with tipping and whatnot. But that's more of what I like to see.
Definitely. Being in the studio with a little bit more custom options, you have the ability to move those weights around, right? So they come with a 14 and a 2, 14 in the back, 2 in the front is how I have it set it up now. You could always change it in 2-gram increments and maybe move like a 10 in the front.
Well, let's change it. Let's see what happens if we flip the weights.
Yeah.
Call it 2400 with the spin rate, with the weight back. Still dynamic loft. It's on the high side, but I'm starting to see the smash factor go up. Ball
100%.
speed kind of leveling in that 178 range. And I've hit some shots that look alike.
Yeah.
And I enjoy that.
The one thing I want to make sure with moving these weights is we still get that forgiveness in there, right? I don't want the forgiveness to go crazy on us.
It's weird. It feels heavier.
Yeah.
Like
so,
just
and it
changing...
should. It should, because now you're moving more weight forward to where the kind of, the front of the face is.
And it feels like a different driver. Wow, that thing felt fast. That might be a little draw, but that felt.
So smash factor again, goes up, right?
Yeah.
But look at that spin rate. Dropped a little bit on us.
It's funny, when you're hitting indoors, these shots look off the planet. It looks way more drastic.
Yeah, everything gets tighter downrange, and it makes it more exaggerated.
That's going to be a double cross. Nope, maybe not.
Straight ball.
You'll notice that the swing speed went down. That was more me. That was kind of my fairway finder.
Yeah. Let's go one more with this.
Let's go big one. This one might be high, but who cares? Off the heel. That's the miss I like, though. I'll take that all day. That was a miss hit on the face, and I don't know if it's the tech in this driver, but how that swing felt, how that strike felt, and with the result, I can get behind that, because that felt horrible.
Yep.
It's a bad swing on my part.
Yep.
But it felt
and
like
you're
everything
almost in the center of the fairway.
But that's what being fit is all about.
100%.
It's about
tightening up those misses and getting your dispersion to go from here to here.
Exactly. I'd rather miss it like that in the fairway than hit that 1 out of 10.
A 325 miss, not too bad.
I'll take it.
Little change here in head shape.
Wow.
Right? Looking down, definitely a bigger club head. G430, 10K max. 10K meaning the amount of MOI. That's hence why you get that bigger club head, because you're going to gain a lot of forgiveness. And going back to the center of gravity, you got one weight in there that we can really just leave or, move around, go lighter, heavier if we have to.
The question is, what's the trade-off, right?
Height and spin.
Height and spin are the trade-offs. Okay.
Correct.
So let's check it out.
So we'll see what this does. Again, going back to that higher MOI, I can, see the ball flight maybe going a little on the higher side. Yeah. Shaft, we got a lower launch, lower spin shaft, though, in the Lin Q Black.
Okay, this is great.
Keeping in that 6X range, which is where we were before.
Felt like I gave up some speed.
Ball speed definitely came down a touch. Now, what about look? Can you get behind the look of how big the club head is?
Yeah, I think it's something I could get over.
Sure.
If I hit it like that. See, it's not curving.
No. But look at that spin rate.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't expect to see a 3-wood come out.
Anytime that spin rate is really going to get over that like 2,900 threshold,
Yeah.
you're going to get, you know, what we would call like a balloony ball flight.
Yeah, you're gonna get that lift.
Yeah,
And-
where it just, I mean, look at your peak height. So you almost essentially with this club head need to feel like you're, you know, really hitting, yeah, exactly, really de-lofting it.
That's not a feeling that I want to try to
Exactly.
to make. See, I felt like that was peppered, and there's just nothing on it.
Yeah.
But it was efficient.
Now, that's not really coming from the shaft, that's coming from the head.
Really?
Yeah, so going back to the higher MOI, heavier club head. Right?
yeah.
So one thing I would want to do just to try it first is if we take the ping head and we maybe switch it onto the Tensei Orange and counterbalance it a little bit, just to see what the numbers do, take some weight out of this heavy club head.
If you think that's the move, let's make it happen.
One thing that's really cool, you know, going back to like the brand agnostic kind of style that we are, is our fitters, whether it's in the studio or out in the regular bay, are zero commission. So we work really just to help, you know, you not try to push something that's going to be more expensive or push something, you know, that'll have that higher price tag because we want you to leave and, you know, make that commission off the customer.
It's nice to hear that you guys go through so much training, because that also gives me a lot of like purchasing comfort and knowing like you're not going to just sell me the latest, greatest, high markup, whatever, because you're going to get the kickback. I appreciate you saying that. Thank you.
We took that Tensei Orange, right? Obviously, you were feeling the heavy club head in that ping,
Yeah.
right? And you were going to, you know, lower club speed numbers, right? You weren't getting tired. It was just heavier club head.
Yeah.
Taking some of that counterbalance feel and putting it into the ping, you know, club head and trying to drop that swing weight, see if we can pick up some speed.
Yeah.
And let's see if we can pick up some of that distance.
Yeah. You know it's counterbalance. You feel it in the hands. A little open face there.
Look at your club speed number.
Back up.
Back up to where we were before. But going back to that higher MOI head, spin rate's jumping on us again.
Let me hit one more just for gigs, but I just don't think, for me, this is the move.
Yeah.
And this is, look at the ball speed drop. It's not a negative. I haven't missed the fairway.
No, not at all.
It's just I'm not willing to give up 15 yards of carry distance.
Shaft-wise, right?
Yeah.
Looking at that VF, thinking that's number one, Tensei Orange kind of leaning number two.
Yeah, for sure. As it relates to feel and performance, yeah.
Okay.
We saw the numbers. But as far as feel, I think this one slightly has an edge above the orange. But
Yep.
don't get me wrong, I love the orange.
Yeah,
Like,
definitely.
But I think
it was good. It's just that counterbalance you're not really used to, right? So it's
Yeah.
a little different.
When we talk about heads, I think the ping is a little too stable for me. I'm not willing to sacrifice certain distance gains to hit
Yep.
it straighter.
Yep.
But I think for a lot of players, they're really going to enjoy that ping head because of what it offers in stability, high MOI, and hitting it straight.
Definitely.
But I think for me, I like to curve the ball.
Yep.
And with that being a very high MOI driver, it's designed
Kinda
to
take
hit
out
it-
the workability.
Well, you see, it's just going straight.
Correct.
And that's fine. Just I want to be able to do some different things and vary my trajectory.
Definitely.
So I don't
I mean-
think that's the best option for me in the driver.
Especially if you try to fade this club head, you're going to get a lot of height and a lot of spin.
Exactly.
Club head wise, though, we're really leaning towards that AI smoke.
You know,
I think
I am leaning towards the smoke.
that club head really gave us the most consistency in terms of numbers. But now what we'll do is we'll take that VF shaft, pop it on that, and we'll see what it looks like.
Okay.
So we got a little change here in the
Yeah.
shaft. Back to that AI smoke, which we saw before really gave us consistent numbers across the board.
And the shaping that I like.
Exactly. And you love the look of it, which is even
Yeah.
more important, right? So we went from Tensei Orange now to the VF.
Okay.
You know,
This
which
is-
again, going back to that shaft, you kind of said was, you know, your favorite feeling driver shaft. That's a great ball right there.
That is a good ball.
Spin rate, fantastic, 1944.
Yeah, and that's going to fluctuate with shot shape and height.
Yeah,
But as far as what I did there, I like it. The height's back down.
it is.
We're under 45 degrees in land angle. I'm happy.
Yep. Launch angle, 14.7. You know, definitely lower than where you've been in that
Yeah.
15, 16 range?
For me, as long as it's under 45-degree land angle,
That's
I'm
it.
cool.
That's good.
Like,
That's
you know, that's a me preference because I hit it high.
Yeah.
I'm aware. Like,
Under 45 with some spin, we got a pretty good
yeah,
combination.
and I think that's worth noting though, because my launch conditions
Yeah,
are going to
different.
be different from somebody
Correct.
else's launch conditions. Just
100%.
because if I had slower swing speed, what if I swung it at 80 miles an hour versus 120 miles an hour?
Then you'd want that launch.
Then I need the launch, I need the
100%.
height, then I
Definitely.
need no spin.
Definitely. It's always player dependent, you know, because someone that has that lower club speed or, you know, in mid club speed, whatever it might be, needs different launch conditions than you.
I think people get kind of roped into the tour averages, and it's like, hey, so-and-so, you're not a tour player. Neither am I.
Ball's not coming out at 180 miles an hour.
Please cut. Little toe ball. Yeah, that was good. See, the fact that I can do that with this driver is impressive.
Still under 45.
Yep. I was trying to kind of lean back into that one.
Spin rate, fantastic for that little
So now let's try to lower everything.
Sure.
Right? Because we've hit the bomb, right? So now
Yep.
let's, like, I just want to see how the driver plays in some different conditions. Let's hit like a little lower cutty one. I was going to go left. Or dead straight. Wow. See, maybe I should just swing like that.
Look at that smash factor.
The question is, can we do it again? Nope. A little high on the face because I got a little steep on it.
Yep.
A little squeezy.
Yep.
You know, a lot of people are going to look at that shot and be like, Doug, that was horrible. But I want the ball to miss right.
Correct.
I
And
want
especially missing right at only 2,800,
Yes.
right? You're still out there 308.
I like that miss. I'm not going to hit the fairway 100% of the time.
Correct.
I just don't want to see it left
Yeah, definitely.
for me.
Yeah.
Right? Like this
Especially at your spin rate, left is just, you know, a ball that's just going to never stop.
is... Yep.
Really good.
Felt good.
Love that.
That's... All right, bag it up.
I think we're onto something here.
Put that in the counter for me.
That's it.
I appreciate that. We're going to keep that.
Obviously, we got you pretty dialed in, right? We call it the perfect fit, if you will.
No question. This is mine.
Torrey D VF 6TX. You got that heavier weight in the back there, right? So get that 14-gram weight for that higher MOI.
Yeah.
And then 9 degree, right? We're going to keep you in that 9 degree loft.
Yeah, I like that.
That's your winner.
Well, Robbie, perfect fit on the driver, but we've got more clubs to get to. We still got irons and wedges, so good job here, but now you got your work cut out for you.
Well, let's keep rolling, and we'll figure it out.